Hello there, welcome to another episode of Bob's Bus Rescue. I think we're up to episode 13 now, so we're cracking on. So the inner sill's now in, so we have a look at that there. It's all in place there, it's all plug welded in and plug welded from the top. And I've now been looking at getting this section in here. So I've actually already plug welded this in. I had to drill these off. I forgot to put these in. Typical, so I had to drill them just now. I've only just done that. I've also welded this in here. I don't need to be grinding the welds back here because they're on the inside, so nobody's going to see them. I had to grind those back there because I've got to mate up the place of this part, which goes into the yard like that. So I've got this part in place here now, just hold that in place with a clamp. So that's tomorrow's job. I need to drill that off for plug welding and then just stitch it in. Then I've got the last piece to go on, which is this piece, which goes on the outside there, like that. I will work all that out tomorrow. I've finished welding this piece in here now. I've had to do a bit of hammering and forming of the actual outer lip here because it was basically sticking out a bit this way, so I've had to form it that way so that when you put this piece on, this bit of B-pillar trim section, that I can actually get it to sit flush to the face there. So this is ready, it's all primed up on the inside. There's just a lot of things going on, a lot of intercepts, but I've got it to the stage now where this actually, it does sit flat. It's actually in that area there, that's sitting flat to there, which is why I had to bend this in slightly. I'm going to tack it in this bodywork area here, and once I've got it tacked in there, then I'm going to start clamping it in over here. So I'm going to literally have to hold it in place to tack it in there so I can get it flush, because I need this to sit flush here. Hi, just struggling with the front wheel arch that I've been trying to cut out and figure fit. As you can see here, I've got it into position. Just got one cleco holding it in place there. Obviously it sticks out there like that, but I'll show you why it does that in a moment. And then it seems to kick in here, as well as there be a bit of a gap. Now, as I start to hold it in place, it does struggle. If you look on the inside here, you can see if I put that there, it'll come over, and then this part of the bodywork here will come round as well. So I'm not too worried about that. This actually needs to be spot welded to this, so that's something to happen as yet anyway. I've had to cut the back off here where there's a flange because I was just struggling to fit it into place. But basically it's not a very good fit. And even if I hold it into place there, I have to twist it and do all sorts of things with it. And it's very short at the front. It's not sitting where it should sit, and it's very difficult because it's now touching here. I can't get it to come up. I have spoken to Schofield's who have bought the panel off because these are classed as the best quality front wheel arches. And on the conversation with Alan Schofield's, they said that they've not had any sort of quality issues with this. Nobody's reported anything. But this is quite deep in comparison to the other side. I'll show you that now. If we just, as you can see here, here's the step on the original side, and if I take my ruler and measure the depth there, you can see it's between 50 and 55 millimeters deep, that step. And then I brought the step over here with me. We measure in a similar place. It's more like 65 to 70 mil deep. So these are quite a lot deeper, which then means this part here, that's 20 mil deep, that's 20 mil deep. So that my step, when I fit it, it will appear lower down by about 10 millimeters, 10 to 15 millimeters. So that has to be pushed up. So I've popped that back into place with a Cleco again. So as we are here, this is lower, which kind of makes sense because this is also pushing it down. Now, what I've been advised by the people who sold it me is that they spoke to a customer who'd bought, said they'd bought about 20 sets over the past 5 or 6 years. This particular bus restorer, when asked if they'd had any problems with these front wheel arch panels, their response was, oh yeah, they really don't fit very well at all. So they then explained that what they do to fit them was they weld them into place at the B pillar, and then they sort of push them and clamp them around the wheel tub as they go round, and then as they get round to about here and welded it into place, they then use a car jack under here and push it up and around. I think I'll be able to do that, but I worry about that gap. I think I may have to cut this step and put a piece in. I can't see it fitting. I just can't quite see that working, but we'll see. But anyway, I've been waiting for a response from the company, and whilst I was waiting for that response, I came to the conclusion I need to carry on working. So I've been working on the rear arch. So on the rear arch, I've got it to all fit in. I've just got it held in place there by those mole grips. That's all that's holding it in place. When I clamp it in place properly, everything sort of sits tight. The only thing I haven't done yet is I haven't trimmed this. The actual line of the bus is about here, I think. Yeah, the cut line on the bus is about there. So I still need to trim this off. I don't know whether to cut and butt that at the moment, or whether I should try a different method. There's a few methods around on the internet, but I've got this all fitting quite nicely now. It's all trimmed up around there, it's all fitting here, this is all trimmed up around there. There's a bit of a gap here, but there's nothing clamping that at the moment, so I will clamp that, and when it clamps it all looks okay. I just need to get everything off and drill holes, put the weld through primer on. I've actually had to weld a piece in on the bottom there, because where this comes down to, it does come down lower than the, here's the line there for the bottom of the sill. And it only has a little bit of overlap. It kind of slopes away. It's these pattern parts, they're not, because it fits at the end over there. It fits around here, and it fits in the wheel tub I've created as well, which I'm really quite pleased with. Did expect that not to fit so well, but it does. But I have the issue here with not having any material to weld this to. So I welded a strip in there. We'll see what happens with the middle panel. We might need to put another strip in, so I need to put a piece in and bend it around there and get it to follow. It is actually lowered at the front. On this pattern part, they've already lowered it. So it could be that this should really be a bit deeper anyway. So I'll probably just extend it so it all suits. I could run this strip to here to match, and then it doesn't look odd. And I might have to make the same correction on the other side as well. So at the moment I'm just finishing off a few things, such as I need to put primer on welds, I need to get primer on the interior here where I've just been finishing off some welding, and then I need to drill holes, weld through primer, drill all the holes for the spot welds around here. That all needs doing as well. And then once that is all prepped up, then I will actually start to fit it properly and weld it in. And I may use a technique where I get these two faces to butt, and where they butt then use a piece of steel that is formed to the same curvature as the panel, and then pull it out with a piece of bent steel, so that rather than the two pieces sucking in like they have done a bit here, rather than that happening, because I'll pull them out when the weld actually starts to cause them to distort by causing them to suck back in. Hopefully I've pulled them off enough out that they will return to a more normal position. There's a few people have tried that on the internet, so I'm gonna have a go to see if that will work. This is stymied me slightly, but I think I'm starting to see a way through. I'm going to get this done because I have to do this before I can do this. This also has a lower piece that goes in here, sort of lower sill piece. So I've got to sort that out as well. I'll have to drill holes in here, won't I? I can actually see a point in time when this side might be finished. Once it is finished though, I think I'm going to have to go over everything with, I've just been cleaning up here, and I will use some U-Pole Raptor Underseal Paint Clear, but colour it with Marino Gelb, which is the colour this bus is. So I've got some in a tin, which is a 2-pack, and I've had it for quite a few years, probably about 10 years or so, but it's still in good condition. But I wouldn't use it to ever paint with, but I could use it to colour the underseal, which should be fine. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get this video out. It's been a very busy December, and then sadly in January my mother passed away because she contracted pneumonia, then that led to sepsis, and that's all been a bit of shock for myself and my family. I've actually started working in the garage again. I need something to distract myself, so it's a very good distraction. So hopefully I'll give you some more content, a bit more stop frame as well, because I'm quite enjoying doing that. I've worked out a very sneaky way to do that. I'll cut this video short here.